Hi everyone, welcome. FPLMattDay here, and not long now until game week 1. We're only a few days away until deadline, so it's time for me to reveal my final tier list ready for game week 1. So you've seen my tier list videos for goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders and forwards. This is my overall tier list, and these are the players I think you need to look at owning for game week 1. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Don't miss any content that's going to be on this season. Plenty of live podcasts, watch-alongs, and FPL updates and tips. Give the video a like and also get your comment in and let me know what you think of this tier list. Is there anyone I've missed? Is there anyone you disagree with or anyone that you agree with as well? But I've shared the screen, as you can see right now, and this is the criteria for the tier list. So we've got the Sunday League players. So these are the ones you want to avoid. I wouldn't be putting these players in your team for game week 1. We've got the semi-pro list, players that, they've got potential. They're not quite world-class yet, but they've got potential to be in and around your team at the start of the season. Then we got the world-class picks. These are the ones that you want in there. And then we got the GOATs. These are the absolute must-haves in your team. Just so everyone knows, this is from game week 1 onwards. This could change throughout the season. There's players I've definitely missed off, but this is purely based on the early fixtures that we have for these players from game week 1. So let's look at the Sunday League players. So these are the ones you want to avoid from game week 1. Some familiar names for those that have watched my previous tier list. Declan Rice from Arsenal, not West Ham. He's in his West Ham kit there. Don't sign him. Don't waste your Arsenal triple ups on Declan Rice at $5.5 million. He's not going to get you the points that you need. So definitely avoid him. Ivan Toney as well. He's banned until January. So do not put him in your team in the hope that he plays, because he is banned and cannot play any minutes. Then we've got Brewster from Sheffield United, $5 million, cheap forward, but he's cheap for a reason. Rarely scores, rarely gets points. Completely avoid him. Don't even consider the fact that he's cheap. Same as Edouard for $5.5 million at Palace. A lot of people get sucked into him, but he just never really seems to do it for me. I wouldn't even bother putting him in, not even for the odd one-off. Always seems to miss plenty of games. Then Gabriel Jesus as well, injured. So I would not be looking to put him in at your side from game week 1 onwards. And then Jose Sa as well, normally absolute brilliant player to have in FPL for Wolves, as he does get clean sheets and saves. But this is a season for me that you need to look at avoiding Jose Sa. So let's go into the semi-pro. So these are the players that you could potentially consider, but you might not necessarily expect points from them straight away in game week 1. And there is some familiar faces in there. We've got Calvert-Lewin at $6 million. Definitely potential in there for Everton this season, and he is a penalty taker. Then Robertson, whose price has dropped to $6.5 million. Usually he is a GOAT or a world-class player, but Liverpool are expecting him to drop into the back three at times when Liverpool attack. And their defence hasn't been as good in the last 12 months. So definitely someone to potentially consider, but he isn't in that world-class or GOAT category right now. Visser as well, $6 million, potential Toney replacement, cheap and cheerful, could be a third striker rotation, so some potential there. Richarlison might be really good if Harry Kane leaves Spurs at $7 million, reclassified as a midfielder, will then lead the line for Spurs and might get penned. So that's potentially one to look at. Saw how good he was in that position at Everton. Then Ugodi, $4.5 million from Spurs, likely to start the season with them. Don't expect clean sheets from Spurs, but he looks very, very good at winning the ball and solid on the ball. So there could be bonus point potential, and he's cheap. So he's in the semi-pro at the moment. And then Edison, semi-pro for now. He's not in world class because at $5.5 million, again, I'm not sure you want to use your City potential triple ups on a goalkeeper. So let's go to the next section, which is the world class section. These are the players I think you put them in and you're going to be pretty safe for points. So Bruno Fernandes, really nice price this season at $8.5 million. Manchester United might sit a bit deeper, but really good at that price point. Ollie Watkins, $8 million, 15 Premier League goals last season. Looks like he's going to improve on that this season. Then next in there, Solly March, $6.5 million. Again, a really consistent performer. Eze, another $6.5 million, 10 Premier League goals last season. Probably going to do even better this year. And then Mbeumo, again, could be part of leading that line with Visser at Brentford whilst Toney is out. 6.5 million, lots of potential. Might be injured early on, we're not sure. Apparently, it is just a slight fitness knock. So he's in there. James Maddison, always consistent every season in FPL at Spurs. And if Kane does stay, Maddison is going to provide him a lot of goals. And then we've got Onana there at £5 million. New Man United keeper, pretty steady defence for Man United over the last 12 months. And Onana, very good on the ball, bonus point potential in there as well. So let's go to the GOATs. And I will say before I go through the GOATs that I've missed Mitoma at £6.5 million. So Mitoma was supposed to be one of the GOATs. He hasn't appeared there on the list, but he should be on there. We've got Harry Kane if he stays, £12.5 million. So consistent, 30 league goals last season. Salah always missed at FPL. A lot of people aren't as sure on him this season, but again, will still deliver numbers, always gets between that 15 to 20 goals mark, even more. Erling Haaland, don't need to say much on him. 36 league goals last season, £14 million, highest owned player in the game. Then we've got the Arsenal triple of Ødegaard, Martinelli and Saka. Ødegaard and Saka, 8.5 million. Very, very cheap with the numbers that they returned last season. Martinelli as well at 8 million. That is very, very cheap for the numbers that he delivered last year. And then we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool at 8 million. A lot of people aren't sure on him, but you are buying a hybrid player with Trent. You're buying not just a defender, but potential for attacking returns as well. He's effectively a midfielder in the way he plays. And then my last go is Marcus Rashford at 9 million. He is classified as a midfielder, but he plays as a forward in that Man United team. So you're getting a striker classified as a midfielder, which means potential clean sheet 1 point and potential extra points for goals. So there you go on screen. That is my final tier list for Game Week 1 and onwards for the early start. I think these are the best players to own early on, the worst players to own and look at as well early on. So let me know what you think in the comments of this tier list. So as I said, if you're new here, please give the channel a subscribe, like the video and get your comments in. I'm FPLMattDay. I'll be at the Fantasy Football Fest on Friday. I'm flying over from Australia and I can't wait for the new season. Be sure to stay tuned in on this channel for all of the uploads and videos from now until the start of the season. There's still plenty of shorts to come and a live podcast. And I will see you all in the next one. I'm FPLMattDay. Bye for now.